Tuesdays it's been lit, it's Wednesday night, Denise and Reg. Post Dynamite, come and get your Easter eggs, it's a dub. Middle of the week, it's AEW. Dynamic wrestling and end your night with us, it's a must. It's Dynamite, it might combust. Speak now, we're gonna give you all the recap. Live on YouTube is where you see that. The Cali connection with the feedback.
The California connection is here. We are locked and loaded, and we are ready to talk about AEW Dynamite. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is Wednesday, May 15th. I'm Denise Salcedo, and with me, as always, is none other than Righteous Reg. Reg, what up?
Denise, what did you do to me? Everybody's talking about a thumbnail in the chat. You got me on here on blast. Everybody got me on their Summer Jam screen. What did you do?
Okay, so let me just make sure I didn't mess your face.
Denise!
Okay, so for those of you who missed the announcement, because Reg, you know, we got to keep up with the times, okay? When it comes to content creation, when it comes to digital media, it moves at the speed of lightning, okay? So we got to be up to date. And so I felt like our thumbnails for the show were looking pretty sad. They were looking dull AF. And I looked at them and I thought, would I click on this show? And I thought, not with that boring ass thumbnail. So I decided to spice things up. And so now our thumbnails are looking a lot more vibrant and exciting. And that includes your face, Reg, right front in the center. And you're like,
Denise amazing. Is like, hey, could you send over pictures of you being goofy? And I'm like, Denise, what are you even talking about? And then she's like, if The Undertaker can do it, you can do it. I'm like, all right.
Okay, am I wrong? Tell me when I'm telling lies. If The Undertaker can set his pride aside to put a YouTube channel, and not only just have a YouTube channel, but to also go out there and make the little YouTuber faces. If The Undertaker can do it, Reg, you can do it too.
Denise, if you would have told me in 1999 that Undertaker was going to be doing the YouTube face talking about any wrestling thing randomly, I'd be like, Denise, stop it. But it's real, so you're right. If The Undertaker could do it, Hall of Famer, I can too. Appreciate y'all.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Dynamite Post Show. It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, and your favorite podcaster, right?
But everyone's saying that the thumbnail, I think they're saying you look like you're on Blue Chew. I'm not really too sure.
I haven't got my Blue Chew yet, you guys.
Okay. Well, anyways, just so you know, I'm going to be asking you to update those photos like every other period. So you're going to have to get used to those. Yes. All right, guys, we're going to get into AEW Dynamite. And for those of you who are looking at the time and you're like, wow, this show started way later than usual. Well, that's because we had a really long overrun, possibly the longest overrun for AEW Dynamite that we've had. But I'm going to start right here and I'm going to say this overrun period is perfect. It gives us just enough time to get whatever angle they're trying to close out with on the show. And it's not me having to stick around for a bonus additional hour. This was perfect, Reg.
Yeah, I thought that because they were talking about it earlier today. They're like, oh, Tony Khan said there's an extended overrun. I'm like, what does extended mean? That could mean anything. That could be 10 minutes. That could be 5 minutes. That could be 30 minutes. Who knows? So when it's happening, I'm like, first of all, having it be that match, Okada and Dax Harwood, great idea. And then to have the big surprise at the end, I think it made it feel like it wasn't a super overrun. Really perfect amount of time.
I think so too. I like that. And BTW, for those of you guys who might have missed this announcement, but it looks like Collision and Rampage is another 3-hour block this weekend.
Wah, wah, wah.
Make it permanent at this time, right? Just make it permanent. Make the announcement. Let us all know that we're going to be watching 3 hours of AEW moving forward, because that's what we've been getting the last couple of weeks, Reg.
How have your Saturdays been, Denise?
Oh, well, I didn't watch last week. I'm not watching this week, but then I will be back the following week.
So you don't care?
Nah, I do care. I care because I'm going to care the days that I'm sitting here in front of my TV on a Saturday to watch Collision and Rampage back to back.
What you got going on this Saturday? You got another thing going on?
It's my birthday, Reg.
Ooh, Denise, it's your birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday. What are you doing for your birthday?
Everything. Literally everything.
You better not be working, Denise. I'm going to be mad.
Oh, you're going to be mad. So get this, on my birthday, May 18, Saturday, I wake up 5 a.m., 6 to 9, do Busted Open. Then immediately after that, I have 40 minutes to get hair and makeup done. And then I'm driving to Ontario, and that's going to be like a little bit of a drive. Get to Ontario, and I'm hosting 2 panels back to back for the Lita Trish Stratus panel and the Samoa Joe panel. So very, very cool stuff that's happening on the day of. And then I'm driving back from Ontario back over here. And then I'm going to have a big taco party because it's also my grandpa's birthday. And so the whole family is going to show up. We're going to celebrate. I'm getting myself a taquero. Have you ever had a taquero?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. So a taquero is basically when they come to your house with this big ass, I don't even know what you call it. It's this big ass stove, but it's great. I'm pretty sure you've seen it like when you buy street tacos. Well, they show up to
yeah.
Yeah, they show up to that house with the big silver stove. I don't know what it's called. And they literally make tacos for everybody there at the party. And it's like you come in, you can get like 50 tacos if you want. I mean, maybe not 50, but you know what I mean? You can get as many tacos as you want, and they serve you the salsa and everything. So it's really great.
Yeah, I've been to a couple parties where they had it. I didn't know that's what it was called. What is it called?
Just a taquero.
Taquero. Yeah, I've definitely been to some spots where like, oh, we're gonna have tacos because like that's California. It's just a regular old thing. But that's dope, Denise. I was about to be mad at you, but those work things aren't that bad, and you're gonna have tacos at the end of the day. So happy birthday to you. That sounds like a really good time.
Yeah, so I'm excited. And then on the following day, I'm going to go on a little mini road trip to Santa Barbara. So it's all shaping out. It's looking nice. I'm excited.
That's going to be cute. You and your husband?
Yeah.
Wow.
He had to plan something for me, you know, or else I was going to get upset about it.
Yeah, definitely. You guys are going to be so cute just holding hands on the beach.
Stop it, Reg.
What do you mean? What do you mean stop it, Denise?
Just stop. I refuse to be
you guys person. Just on the beach just skipping together, holding hands. You got on a nice dress. He has on like a button up with the tie. You got a flower in your hand. There's some
button
champagne.
Up to the beach.
What do you mean? You got to have like nice photos. He's going to have like a rolled up slacks on with. That's not beach gear?
No, it's not beach gear at all. And FYI, the photos are just of me, you know?
Wow.
It'd be like that, Reg.
No, I know. I've seen your little. I'm like, who took those pictures, though? If she's on the beach looking all cute, somebody had to flash the picture. And I'm guessing you're like, take this. And he's like, I'm just trying to eat a sandwich over here.
Exactly. I'm not even gonna get into that because I have a whole ass story that I can share, but I'm not even gonna get into
a little hater. He's a good dude. That's why he don't care. He's like, I'll take it, babe.
Hey,
I love you.
That's like the rules, though. Haven't you seen those videos of like boyfriends or husbands or whatever capturing the photos of their girlfriends? You've seen that, right?
You know, I kind of feel bad because I think back and I would intentionally be trash to some of my girlfriends on the picture so they wouldn't have me take them again. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize.
Reg, that is so mean.
I know.
That's why they're ex-girlfriends now.
I know. I deserved it. Look, I'll take accountability, Denise, all these years later, and they're not going to see this.
You never know. Maybe you have some psychotic ex-girlfriend who watches everything you do and she tunes in every single Wednesday night to this podcast. What are the chances? You know, I've wondered that, by the way. I've wondered if any of my ex-boyfriends have ever seen any of my stuff on YouTube.
Definitely. Come on. YouTube's is a little punk too, and they'll show you some. You'll be like, wait, I remember her. That was that one girl.
I would die. I'm sorry. I don't need any of my exes coming in to see me peddling some of the stuff that I say on here.
You're being judged, Denise. It's fine. Don't be sad about it.
Oh man, it's awkward. Think about it.
What did I say? Why am I a savage? I didn't say anything.
I don't know, Reg. You're savage all the time. All right, but let's get into AEW Dynamite. We need to talk about what went down, and I want to get started with the good stuff, all right? So we found out, and if you'd been watching wrestling news or keeping up with it, you might have heard that Eddie Kingston looked like he got hurt on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Resurgence. Reg, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. I watched this. I have the spot in my phone, like a video of it. And so it happened, and he was down for a while over there, Denise, and then they were going to do the angle with the Young Bucks. So he did the angle, but he wasn't looking right. And so they start the show by being like, Eddie Kingston's out. And then while the show's happening, a photo comes out of Eddie Kingston in a wheelchair with his leg in a brace. Denise, what happened? Oh, man. But it looks like he took a suplex from Gabe Kidd. They had a no rope last man standing match. He took a suplex from Gabe Kidd to the outside. There was a table from the apron to the guardrail. Eddie Kingston's legs slapped against the guardrail. It looked very scary and disgusting, and it was a real injury. So Eddie Kingston is out of Anarchy in the Arena, Denise.
Right. And so I'm looking at that. I'm going, damn, that's a bummer, because remember when we didn't know who anybody was going to be in this match? And right away, I'm like, oh, yeah, Eddie Kingston, he's the perfect fit for this. And so for him to be the one that's out of this, I'm like, damn, he was the one that, was a perfect fit for the Anarchy in the Arena. And we were cruising. We had just gotten the announcement of Bryan Danielson. It was really shaping up. So for a second there, I'm thinking, who the hell are they going to go with? And you knew that following this match with Okada and Dax Harwood, you knew how it was going to turn down. You knew the Elite was going to attack Dax. And you knew that the person that was going to come in and be the fourth person would come in and make their their appearance rather, on the show. Like, you knew how it was going to play out. And I had been thinking of some names that were sort of flowing through my head of who I thought it was going to be. And for a tiny little split of a millisecond, I thought about Darby, but I'm like, nah, he's injured right now. He ain't going to be coming back right now. And then all of a sudden, we hear his theme song, and I'm like, shit, it's Darby Allin. And obviously perfect at being in Seattle and all of that. But Darby Allin, you and I have spent a lot of time talking about him here, Reg, because he was supposed to be climbing Mount Everest. He ends up hurting his ankle or his foot in his last match with Jay White. And then he ends up getting hit in the face by a bus. And then all of a sudden, a couple months later, he's back on Dynamite. And now he's filling in for Eddie Kingston in this Anarchy in the Arena match. I mean, come on.
Denise, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? We talked about this bus thing. We're like, damn, that's crazy. Did you see what happened to Darby Allin? He was blah, blah, blah. We told the story and everything. So yeah, coming into this, there was a couple of ideas that I had. I was like, maybe Daniel Garcia, thought he could fill the role. He's been with FTR. He's kind of a part of this. But I was like, the fact that they're saving it for the very end, that has to be like a big reveal, a big pop, a big surprise. I was not expecting Darby. I thought that maybe his foot was still broken or whatever kind of injury that he had, and that he'd be out for at least another month or two. And the funny thing is the internet is so crazy. Somebody tweeted about Darby like an hour ago. They were like, oh, it seems like Darby's pretty close to returning. I don't know how these people know this, or if it was just somebody was just talking into the universe. And so Darby was in my brain, and then here he is. And I'm like, oh, if it's not Eddie Kingston, Denise, if there's another perfect AEW representative to have, Darby Allin. Like, it fit when it happened. It was like, oh yeah, it fits so well. And then for him to immediately get into it with Jack Perry, it was like, oh yeah, there you go. It's right there.
It was perfect. And like you said, you needed somebody that was going to fit AEW. And I started thinking, like, who is this person going to be? And I had who were you thinking about? Because I had for a second thought about Samoa Joe, since we hadn't seen him in a while. But then once we saw him on screen, I'm like, okay, it's not Samoa Joe. And I had for a split second thought John Moxley, but then I was like, no, it's not going to be John. And then I had also thought, who was the other person that I was thinking of? I even thought Sammy Guevara for a second, because I thought maybe they're going to be like trying to reach for somebody and they could spin it and say Sammy. I was just thinking in all of these different directions. And really, this was one where I think AEW could have gone in many directions. But at the same time, this was the best one, though, because you didn't want the person to come out and for it to be a disappointment, considering that we just came off of this really exciting reveal that it was going to be Bryan as the fourth member.
Totally. And it happened to be a coincidence that they were in Washington, Darby's home state. I don't know how, like, wrestling gods look down. Like, we had this Eddie Kingston injury. It was like, oh shit, what do we do from here? Oh, Darby's available. Oh, we're going to be in Washington. Oh, okay. Like, this all worked out. So it really worked out. But Darby being there, he looked great. And what he represents for this, I think, is a lot. Thinking about Darby Allin and an Anarchy in the Arena, the most insane person on their entire roster.
He has, right?
I'm pretty sure he has.
Someone
I'm pretty
with a
sure
great memory.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure him and Sting were a part of one. Maybe I can't really remember. But regardless, him being a part of one again, he always has something to prove. We were saying he needs to chill out after Everest, chill out after his foot, chill out after getting hit by a bus, and he doesn't care. He's going to come out there guns a blazing. Denise, it's going to be really fun.
So I kept thinking, by the way, and I always think about this. And by the way, everyone's saying nope, they don't think he has. Okay, good. Just making sure, because we've seen Darby do all these crazy things that it's sort of all a blur. You're like, where did I see that? Where did it happen? Okay, so he has not been. So there you go. Back to your point, Reg, of now we're going to be seeing Darby in one of the craziest matches. And you know he's not going to want to go in there and just have a decent moment. No, he's going to want to have the moment.
Yes, exactly. He wants to be the biggest one. If they're like, we need one giant bump, Darby's like, I'm doing it. Nobody else could even try. I'm jumping off of that. I'm going to jump off of that. Throw me on that. Kill me, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be very dangerous, but also very exciting. I think it's a perfect representation. They can run back him and Jack. They got a lot of stuff that could come off the back end of it. This is pretty good.
So this is what I was going to say just a moment ago was I started thinking about like the butterfly effect, right? They say that when a butterfly flaps its wings, it causes all these things to happen, right? And in hindsight, thinking back to Darby was supposed to be climbing Everest, right? That was supposed to be this big grand thing that he was supposed to do. And the universe hurt him essentially. And that was a sign for him not to do it. And then it's kind of crazy to me that he ended up being the fill-in for somebody else who got hurt in this pretty big matchup. Reg, you can't make this stuff up.
Wrestling is sick, Denise. It just does things like this where like, that's what's funny when they talk about plans and how things change. Things could change that fast. Like 2 weeks ago, they thought Eddie Kingston was going to be in this match. A week ago, they thought Eddie Kingston was going to be in this match. 4 days ago, they thought Eddie Kingston was going to be in this match, and he's out. I don't know what they thought the timeline on Darby Allin was, if he was going to be a part of this anyway, but look at all the kind of pieces came together, and it's really, really cool for them. This was a really good show, Denise. I want to get into the rest of it, but that Darby Allin thing was really dope.
Well, before we switch gears, because we did talk on this was part of the, the lead up to the big reveal. I do want to get your thoughts now on Okada and Dax, because Dax is a guy that for the last couple of years, I forgot, maybe like a year or 2 years ago, a lot of people were talking about him being one of the strongest wrestlers, especially here in the US. A lot of people were really putting over Dax, and he was having great singles matches. He was having great tag team matches. We've seen all of that. But then I would say like in the last, like this year, there really hasn't been too much with FTR. There really hasn't been too much with Dax. And this to me felt like, man, we haven't seen Dax in this kind of a scenario in a long time. And so seeing him kind of get back in there with Okada, this was a reminder of why I like FTR, why I'm a fan of Dax Harwood. This match was a reminder. I loved what he did here with Okada. What did you think of the match?
This match, great main event. Okada as a main event wrestler is just natural. Like he fits in. When they announced that he's going to be in the main event, him coming out, everything surrounding him is just like, yeah, this just makes the perfect sense for this. But Dax Harwood as a one-on-one wrestler is out of this world. Coming off of that match, he had a collision that I just watched this morning with Dynamite Kid, tore it all the way down. He just knows like all the fundamental things to just have a great wrestling match. No tricks, no flips, just fists. Like he just really gets it. And being in there with Okada, I think he knows the stakes, everything kind of attached to being in a match with Okada, and he brought it. This is a great TV main event. I love the way that Okada is just like a shitty little cocky heel. Like every time he does something, he does that little smile that's just like, fuck all you.
When he DDT'd him on the freaking barricade and the way that he started laughing. Oh, I love that.
Every time he does a little spot like that where he's just like, yeah, I am the fucking man. I'm getting paid a lot of money and I'll break your favorite wrestler's neck. He's so cool. I'm so happy that we get to just see a guy, one of the best Japanese wrestlers of all time in his prime still being on TV. And Dax Harwood, it's a mixed bag because FTR feels like Kyle Fletcher thing. Like Mark Davis keeps getting injured and he cooks as a singles wrestler, but like Aussie Open is so amazing. That's kind of how it is with FTR. It's like the singles matches are so great, but then you think of how amazing the FTR tag matches are, and it's like, well, I guess continue to do both. I don't know.
And I think we're okay with that. I mean, for a while, we were seeing Dax do both. And that's why so many people were, really hyping him up and praising him as a wrestler, because we were seeing both of those dynamics from him. We were seeing him as a tag team wrestler and as a singles wrestler. But again, like I said, this year, there really hasn't been too many big moments for him. So this was definitely a good way to kind of get people to get back into the forefront of people's minds and being like, oh yeah, Dax Harwood, like let's mention him when we talk about some of our faves over on AEW. So this was overall a win, but let's go ahead and get into some of these super chats. First and foremost, I want to thank Michael for gifting 5 DWO memberships,
What's
as
up, Mike?
well as Sheldon Jackson for also
What's up,
gifting
Sheldon?
5 DWO memberships. Here we go. Alexander Fitzgerald says, Shibata saying Joe is too large to be wearing floral patterns. I busted out laughing. Shibata's phone is the best character in wrestling.
Yeah, that got me pretty good. Samoa Joe coming in there and try to punk them out, and Shibata just being like, bro, why are you wearing that shirt?
Look, I don't know the rules. All right. Well, I mean, I do know the rules. And it's funny because I've told this to my husband. And if you're into style, if you're into fashion, you might have heard this from somebody at some point. But they always say, like the fashion bloggers, like you got to learn to dress for your body. I mean, I have grown up, Reg, with women's magazines telling me, well, if your hips are shaped like this and your waist is shaped like this, and you got to wear clothes with this shape and these prints. I know that as a short person, I cannot wear horizontal stripes. I cannot wear horizontal stripes as a short person, and I cannot wear a bunch of different colors, because the more colors you have as a short person, the more it breaks up your body parts. And so you are able to single your body parts and realize, oh, that person's short. It's a whole science, Reg.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why we went into this. Was the Met Gala this week or last week? Like
it was last week.
Yeah, it's still in your brain. You're trying to get this outfit thing going.
Reg, this is my life, all right? Yeah. Anybody who's into fashion, that's into style, that's just into dressing themselves, you know what you can and cannot wear.
Denise, I spent so much of my time trying to get around those rules and saying, fuck this, and I can wear black and brown and I can do whatever you want. So I'm like, shut up. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want regardless. But I do understand.
Okay, so here's my question. Florals or not for Samoa Joe? I think he rocks the florals.
How could Samoa Joe not rock florals? That's crazy.
Exactly. There you go. And the little lei that he used to have. I like all that stuff. All right. Anyways. Not a fashion podcast, but
I know. I was like, what's going on here?
We can do one. Shit, we can go for it. Crazy 101 says Darby got that Cena recovery time because WTF. Him and Wesley. How do they do it?
That's the same thing I'm thinking. When Wesley came back, I'm like, how? And Darby Allin's already back. I'm like, what's the timeline of events of him breaking his leg or breaking his foot or whatever?
6 months. He was out for 6 months.
Okay, that's kind of a while.
He was supposed to be out for a year though, Reg. A year. And he cut that in half. He's
a freak. He probably was skateboarding like after a week. He don't care.
Oh, wait, I was talking about Wesley.
Oh, no, I was talking about Darby Allin. I'm like, 6 months? 6 months? This is crazy.
My bad. Sorry. I thought you were talking about Wes for a second.
No, that's even more
Darby's
insane,
timeline,
Denise.
I don't know what his timeline was supposed to be.
Wesley being a back injury too, those things are always so sketchy, and for it to only happen. But yeah, this is just crazy that he's already back, and that added on to the surprise, because we were all like, dude, what are you doing here? Why aren't you in a hospital bed right now?
No, he came out there with that pink coat, rocking it. Speaking of which, me and Darby Allin have the exact same coat. Well, not the exact same one, but pretty much the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Alexander Fitzgerald says the shut the F up chants at Malachi Black was wild. This crowd was great tonight. I loved this crowd.
This was when that chant was happening. I was like, I can't believe we're watching an American wrestling television program. Like, I was watching it on TBS, Denise, and I could hear "shut the fuck up" on the screen. I'm like, what is happening? This is cool. This is what real graps are about, baby.
I love it. Delayed Grad says, love the thumbnail of Reg when he saw Mama Wayne.
Listen.
See, already this thumbnail is getting traction. I told you it was going to work.
You know the game, Denise. I'm sorry I even doubted you.
I know. Mike T90K says, happy 21st birthday. God, I wish. I seriously wish. By the way, someone on like YouTube was trying to be a dick, right? Because there's always a bunch of people trying to be a dick, but someone tried to be a dick, but it actually ended up making me feel really great, because someone was like, you have Botox. And I'm like, oh, you think I got Botox? Oh, this is great.
I'm tired of y'all.
You know my whole deal.
I do. I know your game. You're ready for it already. And somebody already thinks you got it. There you go, Denise.
There you go. And I've been doing the whole thing, by the way. I've been practicing. So once you notice, and this is a tip for everybody, and yourself included, Reg, once you notice where that wrinkle is forming and you notice what faces you make that cause that wrinkle, you will stop making those faces. So if you see
Mariah Carey told this one time, like she don't smile because of smile.
Oh, a bunch of people do that. Like, it was actually Victoria Beckham. That's why you never see her smile, because she's preserving her face, and she looks great.
She does look great.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So once you pay attention to those things, suddenly, for example, everyone does this one. Have you ever caught yourself on the computer and you're like this?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
I do that. I'm looking at my phone too. I'm just like, yeah, it's bad.
Watch, when you're 80, you're gonna see them, and you're gonna be like, "That's from all those years on the cell phone."
I'm gonna get Botox. I don't care. Shoot me up. I'll be out there with you, Denise. When's our appointment?
Botox party.
Click, 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 click.
I love it. So yes, be aware. All right. John Deller says, happy birthday, Denise. Hope you don't feel too old now. Oh, don't even remind me. I'm not even discussing that.
Denise, whatever. You act like a 95-year-old, so who cares?
Yeah, but I don't want to be 95 though. That's the problem.
That's fair.
Luke Thornton says conventional weapons do not work on Darby Allin.
True. God tried to send a bus to take him out, Denise, and he was like, nah. God was like, hey, send a bus to that fool. We have to sit him down. And he was like, I'm chill.
Stop. Oh my God.
Darby Allin's a different human being, man.
That's exactly what God said. Luke Thornton says Ospreay and Willow promos tonight deepen those matches so much. Absolute fire on a pretty great Dynamite. So I'm so glad that Luke brought this up, because I was thinking this, and specifically, let's start with the Will Ospreay Roderick Strong backstage segment that they have, because this was very quick. But dude, so far what we've seen from Will Ospreay, obviously great wrestler, we know that, we've already known that, but we've mostly seen Will Ospreay, the buddy, right? The guy that can come out and hang out and just chill.
Happy to be there.
Exactly. This time we got serious Will Ospreay. I don't like this guy that I'm facing in the ring at Double or Nothing, and this is why I don't like this guy, Will Ospreay. And this was great, because not only is Will Ospreay is like one of those guys that can be serious, that can be fun, and no matter what he's doing, his personality doesn't change, because throughout it all, he still threw in his bruvs. And I recently learned the term, what was it? Ballend?
Yeah.
Ballend? Did you know that term?
I don't know what the meaning. I've heard the term before, but I don't know what it means.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here to educate you. All right, so I Googled it thanks to the people on Twitter who reminded me to Google it. And so when you Google ball end, and this is for us Americans who probably don't know this, because this is vulgar slang in British. It means the glands of the penis, an annoying or contemptible man. That's what it means. The glands of a penis.
The glands of a penis. Bell end.
There you go. Bell end. You see? Learn something new every day. I would have laughed had I known what that meant, but I knew it meant something when Will Ospreay said it, but I had no reaction because I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, I think that's the best part of Will Ospreay, what you're describing here, Denise, is how he could do, it could be funny, it could be serious, like any in between, it's still the same character. Like he didn't get off of what we love about him. This was awesome, though, the way that they were moving the cameras around for both of them to kind of focus on while over the shoulder of the other guy. Will Ospreay being like, we've been in so many locker rooms together, Roderick Strong. We've been in PWG. We've been here. We've been overseas. And you never respected me. You always treated me like little bro. And I made it an effort to make sure I became the best wrestler in the world. And I'm about to beat your ass. And I do not respect you. And Roddy just being like, yeah, because you're an idiot, dude. I don't care. You're dumb. And it was just like a really good thing. The camera angles and them being in the back and Ospreay going from mad to funny to happy, like all those things. Really, really dope segment. There was a lot of really good segments in this show.
They did a lot in that short amount of time, more than they've done the last couple of weeks for that specific story.
Right.
Let's get into Johnny's message here, who says, with Willow telling Mercedes, who didn't walk at all, that match should be a last woman standing stretcher or ambulance match. So let's talk about that one next, because that hit really
Another
well.
one.
So we had the contract signing with Willow and Mercedes. And when I was watching this, I thought, okay, they really got to do something different here, because we know what the criticisms are right now of Mercedes, that Mercedes has not yet become AEW's version of Mercedes. She's still the WWE version of Mercedes, but in AEW. And so a lot of people have been sort of criticizing her promos, because it's pretty much the same verbiage every single week. Like nothing has really changed. And so she came out here today and she was definitely a lot more heel. She was even getting boos. And I thought she did fine. But the one that knocked my socks off was definitely Willow Nightingale, especially with that line at the end when she told her that she walked out champion and Mercedes didn't come out walking at all. I thought, I didn't know Willow had that in her.
Yeah, that surprised me a lot. Her confidence was building as the promo was going on, Denise, and to have that punchline at the end knocked it all the way out of the park. With this feud, Denise, I only had one thing coming into tonight. I need to see one thing out of this: physicality. Like, we've seen Mercedes on this show for months now. It feels like she's done a bunch of promos. She's talked a lot of shit. She's been attacked. She's been here. She's done some things, but I meant physically between these two. And I thought the way that they had that, sold that, had Mercedes slap her, and the way that Willow hit her with the powerbomb through the table, great segment. But I thought that Willow got the best of her, Denise, which is kind of crazy, right?
I think she definitely did promo wise. And in that moment when she power bombed her, oh my God, I love the way Mercedes looked, because she's so tiny. Like, she's so tiny. But when
Willow had her up there like that.
Did you see her legs wiggling? You saw that, right? Her legs were like wiggling in the air. And it was funny because the way they were wiggling, and because she's so tiny, it just looked hilarious. And it really gave Willow this moment where I know people are going to react because everybody's going into this match deadpan, knowing that Mercedes is going to win this match. Nobody is expecting Willow to retain. Okay, so with that being said, you got to give Willow something, because it's clear that Mercedes is winning the title. So you got to give Willow a big moment. And this was the big moment, to the point where if, let's say, Willow defeated Mercedes at Double or Nothing and they swerved us and surprised all of us, I don't think the fans would hate it. I actually think the fans would be like, all right, they surprised us.
Yeah, totally. With the reaction that they got tonight, I think that kind of shows it. It kind of goes back to the thing we've always talked about on this pod, Denise, on how AEW fans love AEW homegrowns. Even if some of the greatest wrestlers of all time come and enter and are part of AEW, they're still probably going to choose the homegrown star over the other legend, just because that's the way that they get down. And they're so attached to Willow, and her legend is growing every week, that they're just going to have no choice but to be behind her. But I did love how Mercedes was like, you know what time it is though, Willow. I'm throwing out the first pitches. I'm sitting first courtside at the playoffs for basketball. Like, everything is lit for me. I'm the representation that they want here. Like, you're just like, you're going to have a good time right now until it comes to me. And then Willow's like, no, I'm going to show you, like, you can talk all this shit, but at the end of the day, like, I'll power bomb your ass and pin you. Amazing segment.
I love that. And like one of our earlier viewers said, that it really did add to the story a whole lot. So they did really well with that. We got Mike T90K here, who says, hoping Darby brings back the glass paint spot so your co-host Bully Ray can spend 20 minutes on how he didn't put anyone over. I appreciate the super chat, Mike. Mike had also sent in this super chat last week that we didn't get a chance to read because it came in afterwards and I saved it. So thank you so much to Mike T90K for sending in this last week. He said, BJ's meetup in Vegas. Let's effing go. Yeah, what are we gonna do when it's just me, Reg, and Mike?
For a second there, I forgot what we were talking about last week, and I was like, wait a second, what?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, why can't I find
BJ's meetup
there you go.
in Vegas?
BJ's meetup in Vegas. Hey man, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Denise, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't connect that. Please do not connect that.
People are going to think this is an ad and all of a sudden, everyone's going to show up to the freaking meetup.
They're going to be like, is this where they're having the BJ's meetup? And I do not want to be anywhere where people think we're having a BJ's meetup, wrestling fans, and I'm stressed out.
I'm going to be like hosted by Righteous Reg.
Do not say that. Do not.
And we're going to get twice the amount of people.
Do not say I'm hosting a BJ's meetup, Denise.
I mean,
please help. Somebody help me.
Reggie Simmons says, so Team AEW is basically friends of Punk. Yeah. I mean, yeah, FTR. Bryan's cool with him, and Darby is cool with CM Punk too. Sorry, that took me a second to hit.
It makes sense. That would mean,
but they're Team AEW though. Well, I mean that makes sense though because again, you got the Elite, which is anti CM Punk. Oh,
that would mean this is probably leading to Hangman coming to help the other side, then, right?
I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this now for weeks, right?
Because, like, if anybody's going to hate against CM Punk and his friends, it's got to be Hangman.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I want that. There you go. This is a good shout, Reggie. Good shout. Good Gotham guy says, hey, guys, definitely looking forward to my trip to Vegas for Double or Nothing. If you can get any info of any fan fists or meet and greets, could you send them any info? Yes. Righteous Red.
Denise, no.
DJ's party at Vegas. Gotham guy, we'll see you there for Regis BJ's party.
Denise, stop.
Why'd you tell me this? I'm dead. But Gotham guy, in all seriousness, yes, I will definitely share it. And, you know, obviously AEW will also share this information. Just keep an eye out. I know with events like this, you know, just kind of staying on top of like events that are announced because all of a sudden, this is what always happens to me, Reg. I show up somewhere, I think I'm fully prepared, and I ask someone like, "Oh, what'd you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I went to this show, this thing," and I'm like, "That was happening? No one told me."
Dude, this is so Denise. That is so real because I've said this to you before. You're like, "Oh, that was going on." I'm like, "Yeah, there's like 20 things going on, and you're just somewhere doing something else." Classic you. I think they released some info on. No, they haven't released anything. I lied.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll circle back to that when it happens. Thank you so much, Gotham guy. Well-rounded Leo says Dax is a great wrestler, but he always loses singles matches, which makes him a jobber. Does he really always lose these singles matches?
I mean, he beat Dynamite Kid the other day.
I didn't get to see that. How was that? By the way, they had him on Collision and not Dynamite. Come on. Play on words. Let's have some fun.
I know. I got it, Denise. I liked it.
But anyways, how was that? I didn't get to see it.
No, it was a really good match. Collision was man, Denise, I know these 3-hour shows are crazy, but I watched Collision and Rampage back to back, and it was a bunch of heat. That match was really, 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 really awesome. Young Dynamite Kid looks like Dynamite Kid, wrestles like Dynamite Kid, so you could imagine how they went. It was good.
Yeah. All right. When I saw that, I was like, really? On the one show that I'm not tuning into? Thanks. But I had plans last weekend, so, you know.
Yeah, all right.
We got a very generous super chat here from Toby Schwashbauer. Thank you so much, Toby. He says, hey, guys, with Okada already holding a mid-card title and Ospreay now challenging for the other one, what do you think of AEW doing something like Impact has with Option C? Maybe you could go all in at All In. Is this something that you would dig? I think this might have been brought up last week. Did we talk about this last week?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of. Yeah, I don't think this is a bad idea with so many championships, Denise. Maybe one of them represents like you could trade this in for a title shot at the world champion. I think they always need to have, not always, but like consistently have like a somebody's is waiting in the wings type challenger for the world championship. And I think this is the way to do it.
Plus, I also don't mind them elevating these other championship belts with the likes of people like Okada and Will Ospreay. Because I mean, how do you feel about the belt situation? When you think of AEW, is the AEW championship the only belt that matters to you?
No, but that's a good thing. I think I get kind of confused on the whole thing because like, I think the AEW World Championship is the most important championship there, But the other ones are very important. Also, Okada's the champion of one. Like, how is that not an important championship? I think it's congested for a good reason. Like, the focus isn't all the way on Swerve, but I don't think pro wrestling should just be focused on one guy or one person. It should be focused on the entire company. And I think having a bunch of important championships just helps the company more than one wrestler.
Right. And I feel like for me, it really just depended on who had the belt, because when, my favorite wrestler, Roderick Strong, I wasn't necessarily too keen on what was going on with that whole picture. And so I wasn't interested.
Wait, Roderick Strong's the champ now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't interested when he was champ. But now that Will Ospreay is about to be champ, I'm already seeing the expiration date.
Again, this person says that they like Roderick Strong.
I do like Roderick Strong. I just don't like the storytelling that we've been getting surrounding Roderick Strong up until now, up until today. Today specifically, Reg.
That's you.
I'm just saying. Wait, you're okay. So let me ask you a question then. You're putting me on the spot here, Reg. So you're saying the storylines right now surrounding Roderick Strong have been good?
No, they're dog shit. I love just as
so you hate Roderick Strong? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that at all. I love Roderick Strong when the bell rings.
No? Okay, well, that's what you told me. When I said I wasn't a fan of what I was seeing, I wasn't a fan of the story.
All right.
You see what I mean?
You win this time.
Reg, I always win.
All right.
And I know we're going to see Swerve versus Keith Lee at some point too. We got Jared here, who's been a member for 6 months, who says, I would watch a best, worst wrestling fashion show. Let's go.
Denise? Content?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I have to think. I have to brainstorm because I can't see the video right now. I can't see it. Mike T90K says, I wonder what Kevin Nash thought of Sasha Banks' outfit tonight. Fill me in on this. What's the joke here?
I don't be in on Kevin Nash's stuff. He be too much in the shit.
Sorry, Mike. I don't want to waste your super chat here, but I missed the boat on this one here. David Primero says, I'll be okay if Willow retains and turns heel at Double or Nothing with the help from Chris Statlander. I don't want to see Willow turn heel.
Not Willow turning heel. We need Mercedes to turn heel.
Exactly. And she already is. I mean, the girl was getting booed today. And some of the things that she was saying and the way that she says them, the way her inflection, it's very much heelish.
Listen, the way that she presents herself, the way that she is, she's just a natural heel. She's so much better as a heel, and I think this division needs her as a heel, so it just makes more sense.
Draven D says AEW versus the Elite. What if Tony Khan pulls a Bischoff, joins the Elite heel owner? I can't see it in Tony being a heel owner.
Oh, no, I was thinking of another super chat coming up. So I wasn't, reacting to this.
It's because you're excited. Thank you, Draven. I can't see Tony Khan as a heel manager. I just can't see it. But thank you for the super chat.
Stay in the back, Tony.
Alexander Fitzgerald. WTF is this BJ meetup? Reg, you're the one hosting it, so tell the people.
I'm so tired of you.
Oh, man.
Leave me alone.
Now, these are the things I'm willing to say on the air. You should hear my comedy outside.
Honestly, yeah.
All right. David Primero says, prediction, Camille could debut at Double or Nothing and cost Serena Deeb the women's title since they have a past as Camille took the NWA title from her. We're going to need a video package for that because I don't watch the NWA.
Who's Camille? Who's Camille, though? There's another super chat coming up here concerning Camille that I'm more interested in.
And this one's from Alexander Fitzgerald, who says, hear me out. What if Camille helps Mercedes?
I love this idea. Camille as Mercedes is big and they're both heels. I think that's an amazing idea just because I think Mercedes with somebody, she needs a crew. Before she came to AEW, one time she was tweeting at the Renegade Twins. She was like, hey, what if we became a crew? And I thought that was a great idea. I think she just needs an entourage just because of how she presents herself. And Camille being back there behind her, I think it'll look great.
We got Mike T90K here who says, who else should join the hottest stable in pro wrestling? The effing Learning Tree. Grandpa Bad Jericho is the GOAT. So let's talk about that right now because we know, Raj, that's your favorite part of the show, the Learning Tree. And what we had here today was Hook had a match with Sebastian Wolf. It was a very quick, lasted like 2 seconds. Hook won with the red rum. And he calls out Chris Jericho. And I'm thinking, oh, no. Like, we're still with this? Like, I mean, I had a feeling we were because it wasn't finished, but whatever. So this one kind of got a little awkward because at one point people are chanting for Chris Jericho to retire. And Chris Jericho throws I don't want to say a shot, but he basically says, well, I would be in every Hall of Fame if I did. So, which is not lying. He's not lying. He would be in every Hall of Fame, but that was definitely a, I don't know. It didn't necessarily fall in line with the character that he's doing right now because he's supposed to be like, hi, and I know I'm a jerk, but hey, I'm covering it with a smile. As long as I smile and wave, you guys all have to respect me. Like, that's the portrayal of the character that he's doing right now. But,
it looked like it kind of caught him off guard, didn't it, Denise? Like he was like, he looked like he was like, wait, I'm trying to, there was something he said, like, I'm trying to find the words, or like, I'm trying to put it in the right words or something. And then like, he looks at the crowd and he's like, wait, you guys are telling me to retire? And it's just like, it was awkward.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a moment that, again, did not go with the character that he was doing because that almost felt like a real sort of reaction. Yeah. Because it's not like he knew that he should have known because that's what the crowd was chanting at Dynasty, among other things.
You know what I mean? Like, he should be aware. But yeah, it felt like it was different than the character that he's been presenting because he's been the smiley, like, through whatever you guys say, I'm going to smile through it. And it like got him out of character. But maybe that could be part of the character too. I don't know.
I don't know either, but there was a little hiccup there that I noticed for sure. But this basically went... The whole thing is Hook wants his FTW championship back, and then he just like pops Chris Jericho in the head with the microphone. That was fun. I liked that. But here's my question to you, Reg, and to everybody watching here. I feel like Hook is not upset enough about what he did to his father. It's all about the FTW championship. I'm like, it's not even a real title. If anything, Jericho did you a favor. You don't have to carry this fake title anymore. You should be mad about what he did to your father. Why wasn't that brought up more?
He still don't care about his dad being pushed down. He's just like, let me get this belt back that my dad used to have. What about your dad, Hook? What about that? And Denise, yeah, I felt like Chris Jericho beating him, like, unleashed him. It saved him. Go challenge for a different championship. Like, run out of here. You're free, dude. And he's like, nah, I want to get right back into the space I was in. Why are you doing that? Like, run. Don't go back that way. Go the other way. It feels like he's going backwards, Denise. And it was like, but why?
Sorry, something just hit me. And we had that interaction with Samoa Joe and Hook backstage.
I like that.
And I like that too. But I think this is leading now to Jericho and Samoa Joe. I think that's going to all tie in together because Samoa Joe, who beat the lights out of Hook, he comes out here and he's like, I actually had some respect for you. Or I forgot what he said, but he thought more of him, right? The last time that they met up together in this match. There's something here, Reg. Something's happening.
Samoa Joe and Chris Jericho.
Because what else is Samoa Joe doing? Tell me. Somebody tell me what else is going on.
I'm trying to click it in my brain and just... Samoa Joe, I love Samoa Joe, so it'll be good.
I think it will. All right. Cool. So not a bad idea.
No, I don't think so.
All right. We got Stewie Griffin here says, did we forget about Mercedes?
I'm going to regret that. I know I am. Somebody's going to clip it. I'm going to be like, why did I say that? Well, Samoa Joe's been in here for 8 months.
Stewie Griffin says, did we forget about Mercedes being attacked? What are the chances of DMD costing CEO the title and starting a feud? AEW homegrown versus WWE homegrown. So I don't disregard them doing doing Britt Baker. I think that's coming sooner rather than later because that's the match that a lot of people have been asking for since the second that we started talking about Mercedes in AEW. A bunch of people would send it in on the chat. It's happening, man. At some point, it's happening, Reg. Really? Does nothing for you?
Do not care. Do not care.
DNC. Look. I'm interested and I'll tell you why. Because every time we get Britt Baker on the mic, she's usually the one that's like the alpha female, right? She's usually the one on top. This time, not so much. It's going to be Mercedes. And I almost want to see both of them come in there because they both come with some attitude, right? They got a lot of attitude. I want to see those attitudes clash. I think that's where the intrigue is, at least for me.
I think this moment was wasted on Saraya. The same moment with Britt Baker would hit hard if she didn't already do it with Saraya. That's the only reason that I'm kind of opposing this. Like, it is a thing a lot of people have talked about. A lot of people are like, you got to do that. But I'm like, do you? She already did this thing. She's going to say all the exact same things that she said to Saraya to Mercedes. And it's like, we already heard you say that, right? What's she going to say different than what she said to Saraya to Mercedes?
Saraya took a little longer to win gold. Mercedes is going to win gold in her first match. I don't know. That could be different. That's all I've got. I don't got anything else.
I know.
But I'm sure they'll come up with something, Reg. I've got hope. All right? I've got hope. I'm sure they'll come up with something. Crazy 101 says, to be fair, Roger got over an AEW over WWE.
He did.
Thank you, Crazy 101. We got Alexander Fitzgerald who says, hear me out. Oh, I already read this one. Sorry. D. Lara says, Swerve versus Keith Lee, BJ's watch party hosted by Reg.
I hate y'all.
Oh, man. This needs to happen now.
No, it doesn't.
There needs to be a little picture of you at the bottom of the flyer with your thumbs up. That same picture that I have on the thumbnail right now. Irene C.
I knew you were going to say that. I hate you.
Irene C. says, combining the Intercontinental and Continental titles and allow that title to be the one most defended in other companies and worldwide makes sense. How do you feel about this, Reg?
So turning the international and the continental titles into the intercontinental titles, I can see it. Like, that'll work.
I like that. Thank you so much, Irene C.
I was gonna say if one of them becomes the open challenge belt, but Adam Copeland already has that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Irene. We got Crazy 101 here who says also Darby broke his foot in 3 places in March. Yeah, it was 3 places. Jesus.
It's May.
This guy, man. We need to get a Darby Allin reality TV series. Like a legit one. Like every day follow this guy around. Like have a vlog or something on YouTube.
No. More cameras following him, Denise. Who's gonna die?
But I want to see what I want. Like, okay. Most
like people, having to up the ante every single day, Denise. That is not.
Well, I'm not saying he has to jump off his roof every day. I just want to see what Darby Allin does for fun.
Jump off his roof every day. What do you mean?
Oh, man. Whatever. I need the reality show. Someone give it to me. We got Sheldon Jackson here who says, just remember, Denise, if Reg is hosting the BJ party, someone has to pay for it. And in this case, it's coming straight out of your pocket. Hey, man, I would not mind paying for Reg to host a BJ party.
Okay, hold on a second. Now we might be on to something.
Reg's BJ party presented by Blue Chew.
Listen. Now we might be making some noise. Wait, who's on the guest list?
We're going to outdraw Double or Nothing.
That's wild.
Hey, man. Grapple Geekery says, giving this any credit is willfully ignoring how shit was for months, how much time it wasted, and rewards Jericho for his BS. Like, that's the thing that I keep thinking about during all of this is, what are we doing with the Jericho Hook thing? What's the end game? Who wins here?
Hook wins his belt back.
And then what?
Jericho leaves. Jericho's going to give him the seal of approval at the end. That's supposed to be like he wins his belt back and then Jericho gives him the seal of approval. And we're like, oh yeah, Hook, you are as great as everybody says.
Yeah, but given the character that Jericho is doing right now, why would you want the seal of approval? Or are we just supposed to ignore the learning tree character and just be like, well, it's Chris Jericho and he gave him the seal of approval. But technically, he already gave him the seal of approval when he told him that he was going to call him out. And then they had that moment backstage.
I don't know. You got me. You got me. I'm lost.
I care way too much about this. All right. NB the engineer says Bryan Alvarez was there live and mentioned the backstage segment with Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata could end up being the build for a trio. And I would love that. They can do so much with them, in my opinion. What do you, them as a trio? I did not consider that.
Yeah,
Very different guys coming together for a trio, which is kind of cool.
Thinking about how Samoa Joe, how the promo was laid out, and Samoa Joe coming up and be like, you guys are on some bullshit, essentially. Them being a trio is a great idea because I think that Hook could learn a lot from or benefit a lot from being in a tag team or trios with these two people. So that's a pretty good idea.
Thank you so much to NB the engineer for the generous super chat. We got Irene C here who says the FTW title is honestly holding Hook back. Put Hook in a faction with Shibata and Joe and put him on a course for a TNT or Continental title feud. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about the FTW title. I don't think I have since it's been presented on AEW. Maybe after like the first couple of months, I cared, but after that, did you care?
No, that's what was confusing about this whole thing, Denise. It's like, well, why does Hook want that belt though? What is it even like? Just for his dad, I guess. Like that's a cool thing to do, but it like as far we were just talking about too many championships, and it's like I don't think so. But like the FTW championship, yeah, like we don't really need that. Like it was cool for what like how Taz brought it in, Team Taz, kind of the thing of that, and then his son winning it and everything. Yeah, but I think maybe the ship has sailed on that.
Just retire it now because it's not, again, it's really hard when you got so many championship belts to care about a belt that's not recognized by the company. So it's like, okay, in that case, any wrestler could just go and make himself a belt and he could come in and be like, well, this is not recognized, but this is the BJ's championship that I got at Regis BJ's party, you know? So it's like, come on now.
We like come in like, this is my dad's BJ's belt. My dad was the BJ's champ. Now I'm the BJ's champ.
Oh man. Alexander Fitzgerald says, hear me out. Taz versus Jericho. Man, at one point remember when Taz got up from his table, from the commentary table at Dynasty, and we're all thinking, oh, he's gonna do like a run and he's gonna do something, and he didn't do nothing. And then unfortunately, I think it was a couple days later, an article came out about Taz and his knees, and he had to have 2 knee replacements, right?
Yeah, Taz is not fit for any action at all. He has very old lingering injuries. He says that they're from trying to get bigger and work out harder, and everybody every day of his career told him he was too short and all those things. So it makes sense that he went super hard in the gym, but I just want Taz to get better. That's why I'm like, quit trying to put him in a match with Chris Jericho, y'all.
Patrick Moore says, it seems as if the build-up to the pay-per-view started with the Punk video. Now, does that angle wrap up? Happy birthday, do something mostly legal. Are you kidding me? I follow all the rules. I ain't gonna do nothing illegal.
Denise isn't even gonna have a drink on her birthday, you guys.
Hell no. Why would I do that?
Boring. No, I don't think this is the end of the angle. I think they're gonna do maybe what's the big cage match?
Blood and Guts? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where we're all expecting it to go. But at what point does CM Punk come back to AEW? It ain't going to be done until CM Punk comes back to AEW, feuds with the Elite, and then, my friends, we could wrap up this story.
Yeah, see, Denise is making some good points here, because that's really when it's when CM Punk and Jack Perry have the ultimate match in the ring, that's when it's all said and done. So this could be like 3 or 4 years from now. I don't know.
Bro, we're not going to see this match until like we're in our 80s, and I don't know, by then, how old would CM Punk be?
CM Punk is not going to still be wrestling. Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know what's going to happen? We're going to see this match when both guys are old. We're all old, and we're going to watch it in some gym in some new indie promotion. That's when we're going to finally get
No, honestly, I could see Jackie Boy over there before.
Yeah, but damn.
That's a while, and CM Punk.
That's what I was going to say. That's such a long time. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man. We'll never see it.
We'll never see it. Mike T90K says, what's the end game with Mariah May? Will she choose Toni or Mina, or they all three get together? She's going to have to turn on Toni. Like, that's going to have to happen.
Yeah, I think was the end game here. They're taking the longest route ever and telling these stories. I think they're going to have like a triangle love story to tell, with the end being Mariah May turning her back onto Toni Storm.
Wait, this is turning into a love story now? This is no longer a friendship story?
You ain't see them kiss on TV?
Well, yeah, but I was like, I guess they just do that. I don't know. I didn't think it was like a lovers thing. I just thought, they're just out there kissing each other.
I mean, friendship could be. It doesn't have to be like romance love. It could
That's
be
what
like
I'm saying. I
love.
thought it was just like a friendship thing,
Yeah,
not like a
friendship
romance
love.
thing. I mean, I'm not going around kissing my friends, but whatever.
Why
Yeah,
not?
I don't know.
You don't have like a sleepover with your lady friends and you guys have a pillow fight and everybody kisses and go to bed together?
I know that's like every man's fantasy.
It's
that
not at all.
I've heard this somewhere. Where did I hear this?
Every 12-year-old man's fantasy. Yeah.
Every man thinks that when women get together and they have a pillow fight, it ends up in like
no real man thinks that.
Well,
12-year-old kids are like, are you guys having a sleepover? Then you guys all hit each other with pillows? No, dude.
Oh man, I wasn't even allowed to go to sleepovers as a kid because my mom was always afraid that my friend would have some pervert dad or a pervert brother.
Totally.
And so yeah, and honestly, I used to be so mad at my mom as a kid for that, where I'm like, you never let me go and have any fun. But now, like, you hear all these stories, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God my mom didn't let me go spend the night at any of my friends' house, because you just never know.
People are funny too because they're like, that's a fantasy. But how many of you guys, when you watch your porno, pick a porno that has 6 women and 0 dudes in it? You watch porno videos that are just 6 women hitting each other with pillows? Explain it. How many of y'all in the chat? Let us know.
Oh, you're asking people to reveal their.
I'm asking them to reveal if you're watching your little porn. You're like, let me get category 6 women pajama party. No dick.
You're giving someone the idea right now. They're gonna be like, Pornhub, 6 women pajama party.
No dicks.
No dicks. But don't you need it though? Don't you want to get like the point of view of like if you were there?
You're not there. I just said no dicks, Denise.
Okay, but I'm saying, don't you need the point of view of the said? If you're a male watching, don't you want to watch with the male in it so that you can think that that's you?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Dicks, yeah, but just 6 women, no dicks. What's going on here?
I don't know. I'm not going to break down this science. All right, we got MB the engineer who says Elite versus AEW is happening. Where's Adam Page?
Okay, let me get back into the show. Adam Page, I hope that, like I said,
I couldn't bounce back either. I was like,
I hope that he shows up to help the Elite. I want him to come back as heel.
Yeah, I've been saying this every week. Every week I've been saying this, so it's got to happen. But as where he's at right now, I don't know, probably on his couch chilling. Thank you so much, MV the engineer. Oh, man. We got Alexander Fitzgerald who says this is brought to you by Blue Chew Code Denise. We're going to get canceled. All right.
I'm surprised we've lasted this long, honestly.
I know. You want to know why we've lasted this long? Because we got Blue Chew Code Denise.
That's a fact.
All right. We're going to get into some of these other topics that we have not discussed. We need to get into the Young Bucks. Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels. The big thing about this was that they fired. I know, right? They fired Christopher Daniels. And then afterwards, we end up seeing freaking Jack Perry throw the Woo energy drink on Tony Schiavone, leaving him sticky the rest of the night.
Why did he do that? I was like, really? Like
that was the best part.
It was like wrestlers do heel things, and sometimes it's like, no, you really crossed the line. I'm really mad at Jack Perry. How could you ever do that to Tony Schiavone? Yeah, there were so many things in this show, Denise. I was like, damn, I forgot that was a hot ass angle too. Really fun match. I like the setup of them forcing Chris Daniels to come at them and then beating him up. The way that Mac Jackson fired him, and then he fires him, and then he goes, all right, let's get an AEW chant, and then everyone starts chanting AEW.
No, I thought they booed. I didn't hear them chant AEW.
A couple of the people started chanting AEW. I'm like, how are you going to chant for AEW? Dude just got fired. You're fired, Christopher Daniel. AEW.
This is selective hearing. This is really selective hearing. Because if you're like, oh, chant AEW, okay, I'm a chant AEW. But
no, I mean, yeah, you're
exactly.
right. Like if you're a fan and one of your favorite wrestlers, good or bad, says chants AEW instinctively, you're probably going to chant it. But just at that time, it was really funny.
It was very funny. But yeah, my favorite part was him dropping the drink on Tony, or not dropping, rather pouring the drink on him. And now Christopher Daniels has been fired. So what now? We're not going to see. So I'm guessing we're not going to see Christopher Daniels, at least for the time being, wrestle.
I could see them doing some kind of angles, maybe have him work some independents and they go antagonize him. Like this should be kind of a fun thing. I think using their authority on somebody that we know that they've had a connection to this whole time in AEW makes sense. It being Christopher Daniels, it holds a lot of weight behind it.
Right. I feel you, man. All right, let's go ahead and move along. We got to get into Bryan Mox versus Kyle and Jeff Cobb. This was a very, very fun match. And there's really nothing else to add about this. Am I missing anything? Because we kind of already covered the Elite stuff.
The Swerve and the Swerve.
Oh, no, but I'm saying specifically for this, though.
Oh, no.
Match. No, not really, right? There wasn't anything
that was
else?
It. Yeah,
no,
just the Christopher Daniels firing was the biggest part.
All right, well, let's go ahead and then speed through. No, we got 2 more things to get into, actually. We got the Adam Copeland House of Black stuff. And basically, the whole thing that happened here is that we're going to get a barbed wire steel cage match.
Are we?
Yeah. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black.
Malachi Black never said yeah.
They put the graphic up. Wasn't he the one who issued the challenge?
No, Adam Copeland was like, yo, pull up. And then Malachi Black just went and took his ring.
Yeah, but they put a whole graphic and everything.
No, it's the graphic up. I didn't see it.
After he came out, he was like, something, this ring is holding you back. And I'm like, what the fuck?
With this ring ID wed face, I was like, why are you saying
I was thinking about? Okay, who's the frick? Is it Gollum? Gollum? The guy from Lord of the Rings, the one that goes, my precious. What's his name, Reg? What's his name?
I don't know, never seen it.
It's Gollum? I'm pretty sure it's Gollum. Someone here knows this. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact someone here knows this. Mm-hmm. All right, whatever. That's what Malachi Black. Thank you, Gollum. It is Gollum. Mm-hmm. Gollum. He literally reminded me of Gollum during all of this. I was just waiting for him to hit the my precious line. And we didn't get it, but hey, that's what's going on here. I actually like this.
Me too.
We had your girl Shayna Wayne coming out. Nick Wayne, oh my God, I was about to say the wrong word. Gives a
What was you about to say?
Low blow. Thank you. I was thinking something totally.
Oh, Denise.
All the BJ talk.
Denise.
I had completely forgotten what a low blow was called.
We are not trying to get canceled out here.
Stop talking about BJs. All right. He gives them a low blow. All right.
Is crazy.
He gives them a low blow. And this all leads to them taking out Adam Copeland. They all get him with all 3 members of the House of Black, drop kick him with the freaking chairs and everything. And Edge is just there on the floor, practically dead. And this match is happening. It's been made official.
Yeah, this was another hot angle on the show. I thought that they had a lot of really good angles selling Double or Nothing. Nick Wayne being the one to bloody Swerve, coming off the back of Swerve, bloodying him in his own training center, using the picture of Swerve's kid, Christian being a fucking menace and being like, your kid's a lot of personal stuff in there, Christian, getting Swerve bloody, putting the blood on the picture. This was like they're putting Swerve's backs against the wall, throwing everything in the world at him, making him that baby face that everybody wants to win. I want Christian to get his ass kicked. Like, they're making all the right moves. And I think that Nick Wayne being there, they're in Washington too, made it hit even harder.
Yeah, it definitely did. And dude, did you see how Swerve was bleeding? Dude was gushing out like a freaking faucet.
Yo, I thought this was an old CZW episode with Swerve's head just bleeding everywhere. You usually don't see black wrestlers gushing like this. So pretty disgusting stuff there. Beyond that, though, the match with Swerve and Brian Cage was really awesome, too. Brian Cage is a video game wrestler. And sometimes he doesn't get to do that. And tonight he got to do that when he just in there doing all the craziest moves you've ever seen. Power bombs, flipping and shit. That's the Brian Cage we love to see. And Swerve was in world champion status right here. This was a classic PWG style match. I fucking loved it.
I love it, man. All right, Luis Arturo Mendes says DWO After Dark. I know, we need to change the name of the show, man, at this point.
Yeah.
Lawrence Ross says Malachi cut a backstage promo accepting the barbed wire cage match. Hi, Denise.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, that's what he said. I was remembering the whole ring thing and the thing. And yeah, it's just that sometimes, you know what it is? Malachi Black says too many words. They all sound poetic. And so you lose interest after a while. That's why.
You get caught up in his poetry. I'm like, what is this guy saying? And he's like accepting a match.
It's like class when they have you break down the poems. You have to go line by line and be like, okay, what did Shakespeare mean when he said this? What did Edgar Allan Poe mean when he said this?
Dude, breaking down a wrestling promo like that is insane.
We got that metalhead dude who says the best segment was the Willow and Mercedes segment. It was very, very good. We ran over that. And agreed. That was some good stuff, man. All right. And speaking of the women, by the way, we haven't talked about Toni Storm versus Harley Cameron. Storm 0 for the win. Anything in particular that stood out to you? I know it's mainly the promo. The promo was really the good stuff for Toni Storm today.
Yeah, no, but shout out to Harley Cameron coming off of never having any matches on AEW and then having 2 really good matches back to back with some heavy hitters. This is her showing like, no, not only can I be a really funny character backstage, but I could come out here and rock the world with some of the best wrestlers in the world. Toni Storm we've talked about it a few times here on the show, Denise, but she's really found the balance between character and in-ring. Like now she's like, she was already one of the best characters in the company. Now she's like far and ahead, like just great at everything. It's really cool to see.
So, my friends, now I think we got everything from Dynamite today. I didn't miss anything, did I?
I don't think so.
No, we got it all, man. It's all in there. We talked about it. It's been discussed. That was our AEW Dynamite post show for today. If you guys had a good time with us here today, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Also, VG Times, who won the giveaway, I sent you a DM on Instagram. So please respond to the DM so I can get that settled. And other than that, Reg, what do you got going on, man?
This week, just regular Grapsody on Saturday, and I think that's it. You can catch me every Wednesday here with Denise. We had a really great episode earlier, Mike and I, on Indeed. We interviewed Fresh Air out of Canada. Super talented guys, and that's pretty much it.
Alrighty, as for me,
catch the West Coast Pro. Sorry, I didn't promote these shows earlier. West Coast Pro is going to have a show this Saturday, Irish Cultural Center. It's going to be insane for the coast. The card is crazy. Prestige Wrestling is also having a show in LA tomorrow, Thursday night. Insane card. Shelton Benjamin and Josh Alexander, I think, are the main event in LA. Denise, I don't know if you have anything to do, but definitely check those out.
This was happening, man.
There you go. We brought it back around. There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, this happens to me all the time. I go online. It's like, oh, that event was happening here. Y'all need to promote, get it out there. So now you reminded me, Comic-Con Revolution, Ontario. Go to that Samoa Joe panel, to the Trish Stratus Lita panel. I'm hosting it. So make sure you guys go out there and have some fun, especially if you're out there in the area. But other than that, just subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the work and podcasts that I've been doing here. And then we will be back next Wednesday, of course, to talk some more Dynamite. But I'll be back this Friday with Robin to talk about some WWE SmackDown. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Other than that, thank you so much, everybody. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.